Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Macon Campbell and this is Macon Stuff. So this is my first video back in the workshop since my crash about 2 months ago, and approximately 5 days from now I'm going in to get surgery on my shoulder, which is probably going to put me out of commission for at least another 2 months. So I thought I'd try and get at least a little video project in while I still can. Now, I haven't exactly been sitting back doing nothing for the last 2 months. In fact, during this time, I've moved my office. I've built a bookshelf for storage in the new office. I've also built an extension for my desk to make it more comfortable for working in the new position I've set up. I'm also currently busy with a suspended rope shelf for my wife's plants. And between that, I've been spending a whole lot of time working in Illustrator, doing illustrations of mountain bikes. So far, I've done all of my bikes, including the broken one that's hanging back there, and a number of other dream bikes that I've chosen at random. The main reason for doing this is because this is something that I want to offer as a service in the future. So if any of you have bicycles that you'd like to have illustrated, feel free to contact me through my Instagram, which is probably going to be the easiest way to get hold of me. So with all that said, let's have a look at what I'm going to try today. So some of you might recognize this as the logo for the Witcher series, which is on Netflix. I recently watched the first 2 seasons of that, and in fact a couple of years ago I actually played the game on PC. Now the idea is to make a pendant with this logo. Initially I wanted to do the full logo, including the swallow and the star at the bottom. Now I wanted to carve it in such a way that all this white negative space would be cut out of the wood, but the problem is there's going to be such thin connection points between all of these pieces that I think it might be flimsy and break apart. So then I thought perhaps I could do it with 2 different types of wood, and I could have a background piece that I could glue all of these details to. But seeing as I'm quickly running out of time to get this thing made and the video edited before I go in for surgery, I decided to do something a little simpler. So I'm going to do just the wolf's head on its own, and I'm going to glue that to a background piece. Now the options that I'm thinking of is obviously a light wood and a dark wood. I haven't decided which one I want to use for the background and which one I want to use for the wolf. So I printed these out so I can get a better visual idea of what it's going to look like. And I'm thinking that I might go with the dark background and the lighter wolf. But if time permits, I might even make both of them, but we'll see how it goes. Now the 2 species of wood that I'm going to use for this is maple for the light wood and then teak for the dark wood. So let's have a look for some suitable offcuts and get started. Well, my scroll saw is pretty crappy, so I'm not surprised that this happened. But luckily I did decide to make the other color option as well, so I've got at least another spare that I can work with. Although it's probably going to be quite tricky and perhaps even dangerous, I'm going to try and cut this one on the bandsaw instead. I am, however, also going to glue this broken one up so that I have another backup in case this one breaks too. Okay, there we go guys, it's done and I'm pretty damn stoked with how that turned out. I'm really glad that I went ahead and I fixed the maple wolf and carried through and made both of the designs, because this one with the dark background is definitely my favorite. Not that this one is ugly by any means, I just feel that this one stands out a lot better. Now obviously it's not perfect. I would have liked to have tried to put in a little bit more detail, especially around the teeth over here, but I simply don't have a tool that is small enough to capture that detail, and I was worried that if I tried I may just ruin the entire piece. But I like the rough look and it really captures that handmade vibe, and that is pretty much what I was going for. So all in all, really happy with the result. It was a really fun experience. Carving out this wolf was surprisingly harder than I expected. I've done a couple of full 3D carvings, so for some reason I thought that this flat carving was going to be a whole lot easier, but it definitely surprised me, and it was definitely not as easy as I thought it would be. But after a bit of head scratching, I managed to pull through, and I think the result is pretty cool. So we got this done just in time. A couple of days from now I'm going in for that surgery that I mentioned, so I've got no idea when I'll be doing my next build video. While recovering and rehabilitating, I'm not going to be able to do too much moving or lifting of heavy objects, but as soon as I'm able, I'm probably going to be spending a whole lot of time on the computer, building up some more of my skills in Illustrator and Photoshop. Now my channel is already so full of random stuff, so if there's anyone who's interested in seeing any Illustrator tutorials, let me know and maybe I'll make it happen. So before I leave you, some of you may have noticed that I'm wearing a new Make and Stuff t-shirt. This is a design that I had made by a friend of mine more than a year ago. The plan was to release it when I hit 10,000 subscribers, but I don't know, life happened and I never got around to it. So I've been sitting on this design for quite a while, and while I was recovering from my collarbone surgery, I opened up a Shopify store where I'm selling t-shirts with the mountain bike designs that I made, as well as some Make and Stuff merch, of which this shirt is a part. So if you're interested in any of the Make and Stuff merch or any of the mountain bike t-shirt designs that I've made, I'll leave a card here for the store as well as a link down in the description below. So with all that said, once again, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you have any friends that are die-hard Witcher fans, go ahead and share this with them. So I'm going to be gone for a little while, but till next time, keep making stuff.